What is up, all you beautiful peeps? Welcome back to the Weekend CS News. Just a little short news as we head into the week, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot bigger stuff out there, but a few stories we got to pick up on as it's now finally finalized, that being the Falcons roster as expected. All right, we got Zonic at coach. We got niko now, the new set joinee, as the firepower. We have Maj3r, the only one retained on this roster, and the heroic trio is now officially joining these guys. Of course, Kicks and Tess's Dexter now finalizes this Falcons roster, and will they be good enough is the question we will be asking ourselves for only 3 weeks as we approach Blast Bounty, which I believe Falcons, last time I checked, will be appearing at least on the online portion of that. And niko also saying, hey guys, I'm ready to boot camp. Let's get things started. And we kind of got to get used to it. When it comes to headlines, it's going to be all around niko. It's going to be all around Falcons. Can they qualify for events? Can they make deep runs in events? And how long will you give them this new roster time-wise? You think about the last Falcons roster when they struggled even 6 months, even 8 months in, people kept on saying, give them more time, you know? And I think that's a reasonable response. You had someone like Cadian on the desk for some Blast event saying, give them time, and maybe they can succeed. They have it on paper. And I think you could say that about many rosters in CS. And when it comes to Valve rankings, this heroic trio coming on over to Falcons means they will be in runs for these big events. Can niko get it done? Can Zonic get it done? When you look about it, recent major-wise, this trio is the most successful on this roster, all right? And I know that's a little weird to say. Maj3r wasn't even there. niko and G2 fell short. Heroic and these guys, they're on the up and up. And so what can they do with some star players like niko and Maj3r alongside them? I want to be positive about this one. It just, there's something in the back of my mind. I don't know about you guys. When I look at this Falcons roster, I can't help but think that niko and Maj3r have some sort of long-term plan, maybe post Major 1, and maybe that's just me being naturally pessimistic about a Falcons roster. It feels like something is bound to change. But what do you guys think? Falcons have now finalized, and we'll see just how they do. Again, less than 3 weeks, CS offseason, so short and sweet. And speaking of major runs out there, last time we talked about OhnePixel and Drillas. We had some drama about Richard Lewis continuing to call it OhnePixel and their disgraceful rule break, which I already covered on this channel. Even more so, though, we had Ohne say he's not really interested in fielding roster. It seemed like he was probably going to stray away from all of that stress that was Team Drillas. It was a great attempt at a run for the Shanghai Major, which eventually, unfortunately, did fall short, but it will be a new rule change for majors going forward, which people have now identified as that Drillas rule, as they did break the rules to be in the Asian region. I don't think anyone is denying that, and I've already explained my two cents on all of that as well. But Valve have now updated their rules, which is good. As you look in team rosters and substitutions, it says team rosters may optionally include one substitute player were they to replace any core player that would not alter their regional assignment of the core lineup. And I don't want to dive too deep into this because the more you talk about it, the more it complicates a fairly simple ruling. But I'm going to assume if you're going to the Americas qualifiers, right, and you have an NA majority roster, or let's say a full NA team, you can have any region as your substitute player, an EU guy, a guy from the Asian region, because if they sub in for a North American guy and you got 4 of the North Americans, your majority is not changing. So your substitute cannot change the majority or the region of which you're qualifying from. I think that's pretty straightforward. It's a good rule change. It's the Drillas rule change. It makes a lot of sense, and thus wouldn't have allowed them to actually be in the Asian region once their sub came in through the last qualifier. So that is that. I think overall pretty good rule change that a lot of people are going to be happy about and needed to be laid out. And also speaking of majors, but not the tournaments, it's the player. I had no idea that was even going to be a thing. Yes, my man Maj3r taking to Twitter to call out not Vertigo, but Train, which a lot of people, I mean, were shocked as Train is re-entering, and people thought, oh, the OG Train, like one of the better competitive maps. It's not near as good as Dust 2 or Mirage, which are a couple of my favorites because I'm a silver player. But yeah, he fired back at the current edition of Train, saying that Vertigo is better. What do you guys think? Taking to Twitter to say, hello, Vertigo over Train right now. Players who like Train version right now are delusional. It's not our first love, Train. This girl became something else, man. To which both the Abadir brothers came in to agree with this, and other people giving their responses as well. And I think we've heard this for several weeks now, ever since Train did drop. People saying, hey, this is not the competitive map. I mean, it's been going on for some time. And hopefully we've given Valve enough time to, I mean, maybe drop some train changes. I don't know how major those changes are going to have to be, but for train to be worse than Vertigo, a map we did not even see, I believe, in the major playoffs at all, that is certainly saying something, and it is a bit of a surprise. So now it's just time to bring back Cobblestone, replace Vertigo, replace Train, bring back Cobblestone, and we're good to go. So what do you guys think about Major's response on all of this? And speaking of major map pools, we'll probably talk about this tomorrow. Sponge had a message for Valve as we approach this upcoming competitive season. We need a map pool. We can't have giant map pool changes when we're like 3 weeks out of Blast Bounty, which is going to be a pretty widely watched tournament, the first one coming off the offseason. So Valve, get on your horses, and we'll probably have a response soon. And very lastly, for all of you guys, it's a Sunday, right? I want to sprinkle in some fun tidbit news. I sadly had to watch OhnePixel play Danger Zone today alongside JL. JL, he is a very competitive player who I don't think has a lot of experience in Danger Zone because he just wants to go kill, 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 but he's playing with Ohne, and Ohne was called out because he is blind. And I'll actually try and play you guys the clip, and maybe you guys can see why playing Danger Zone with OhnePixel is it's a choice.
Okay. I'm going for red package. Could be enemies.
Okay, I'm coming towards you.
Proceed to safety. The first wave of missiles are
Oh shit, I
incoming.
found the yellow pack.
PP Bison, bro.
I have breach charge. That's the C4, right?
Yeah.
Let's go here. This is unlooted.
You're not with. You are with me. JL,
Yeah,
I think we should
I'm
go.
nearby.
And this is a $2,000 tournament, but actually it was really fun to watch these guys play together. Ohne and JL, the duo, by the way. JL is literally ushering his way into successful retirement. The streaming numbers he's been pulling alongside Ohne, or even without Ohne, and they are pure entertainment. They're like two long-lost brothers. You have a freaking pro player and a guy who just weapon switches and tells him what to do the entire time. Very entertaining. There was a guy that went on the screen that was pretty obvious. You guys can see why at the point of me recording, they are not in first or second place for this tournament. They are struggling a little bit, but it's always great to see Danger Zone thrown out there. When are we seeing Danger Zone in CS2? Till next time, I hope you guys all enjoy. I'm going to go eat this banana or maybe dip it in some coffee. That's a joke, by the way, and I'll see you guys back here bright and early tomorrow morning with more CS news. It's going to be some big stuff dropping this week. Going to be very fun. I'll see you guys then. Take care.